off.
petition with 8,000
You will back off.
signatures?
You will back off. You will back.
No, you may not come in. You may not come in. You do not have permission to come in. That door is closed. You may not.
Wow. I've just received internal school board emails and communications about my visit to Ottawa to deliver a petition to a censorship-loving COVID cultist school board trustee. And from what I can tell, even Nili Kaplan-Myrth's colleagues on the school board administration team think she's kooky. Today I'll show you those documents. But first, do you know the story of Nili Kaplan-Myrth, the mask-obsessed hypochondriac TV doctor turned school board trustee in Ottawa? That's a mouthful, isn't it? Kaplan-Myrth was previously internet famous after mockery befell her for wearing a mask in a remote TV interview wherein she was sitting in her office completely alone.
In fact, there are places in the world where even, for example, in Italy, opera singers are on stage wearing masks. There is nothing that you are saying that is based in science or medicine. What you are saying is based in right-wing, anti-mask, anti-vax ideology.
And then, as I guess her COVID fear powers waned, she didn't really want to let go of the control of other people's lives that she had previously had. So she ran for the school board and won in the Ottawa-Carleton district. Once Kaplan-Myrth got onto the school board, she went full control freak. She started censoring parents who would turn up at the school board meetings in person to express disagreement with the direction of the school system, particularly with transgender ideology and allowing biological boys to be in the washrooms and change rooms with girls. Look at this.
Trans students, in particular students that were assigned a male gender at birth, are allowed to use the same bathroom unsupervised as my 12-year-old daughter. Having a 14-year-old boy and having been a 14-year-old boy before, and as a male knowing how sexually driven a male's body is at the age of 13 onwards, this did not sit well with me. I wasn't present at the board meeting that pushed this policy through, and I can't figure out when this was done. My oldest friends can attest to my belief in the safety and inclusivity of all people. I always have. But this is about having appropriate and safe boundaries for progression and doing things in line with the parental community's wishes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Morabito, on the grounds that this creates an unsafe environment for people who identify as gender diverse, I'm going to have to ask you to end your delegation.
How does this provide an unsafe environment? Can anyone answer me that? What?
See, that's what they do.
We're going to take a 2-minute recess.
But Kaplan-Myrth's censorship didn't stop there, because when parents then subsequently launched a petition on change.org to call on Kaplan-Myrth to be fired or resign, Kaplan-Myrth contacted change.org to have that petition taken down. Not once, but twice. And the second time, with the second petition, the school board helped her censor the viewpoints of those parents. So I started my own petition that would be completely uncancelable to give parents a voice in the system, because Kaplan-Myrth works for the parents, not her own delusions of grandeur and importance. So I flew from Edmonton to Ottawa to deliver that petition, to keep my word and give parents a voice. And when I did that, Kaplan-Myrth lost her absolute marbles on me. Look at this.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
We're great, thank you. Ms. Kaplan-Myrth? Hi. Sheila Gunn Reed with Rebel News. I just wanted to... No, don't run away.
No, you will back off. You will back off.
I'm
You
trying
will
to
back off right now.
I'm trying
You
to
will
give
back
you a
off.
petition with 8,000
You will back off.
signatures.
You will back off. You will back.
No, you may not come in. You may not come in. You do not have permission to come in. That door is closed. You may not.
Wow. Kaplan-Myrth got all pinwheel-eyed and unhinged, and in a fun but unsurprising turn of events, Kaplan-Myrth locked me out of the building, but hustled in a CTV reporter who ostensibly doesn't treat her like the out-of-control histrionic crybaby we all know her to be. Now, when I got home from that trip to Ottawa, I filed for access to information because school board emails and communications are public documents to which I can get access. Now, if you donate at rebelinvestigates.com, you helped fund the documents in this video today. So thank you in advance for that. But let's get into these emails and communications. On page 1, we can see internal messages back and forth. Look at this. Rebel News tried to serve a petition to Nili. She started screaming at them. Oh no. Oh yes. Oh yes, she did. And you can see these bureaucrats are monitoring Rebel News social media accounts. On page 5, bureaucrats suggest Nili was baiting me, trying to get my attention. And for someone who cry bullies about her safety all the time, the bureaucrats note that Nili Kaplan-Myrth refuses to follow the safety plan they've laid out for her. Look at this. I spoke with Michelle a little bit about my concerns regarding Nili's safety plan and her disregard for our efforts. After further conversation with Darren, who witnessed Nili bait the Rebel News reporter by circling the path near the parking lot, I feel that something needs to be said or incorporated more firmly into the safety plan. She wondered about an email from me or you addressed to Nili and which shares the following. And this is a version of the email they eventually sent to Nili Kaplan-Myrth, admonishing her for disregarding the safety plan they laid out for her, especially when Nili Kaplan-Myrth won't shut up on the internet about how dangerous it is to be her for some reason. After the incident on Tuesday evening, I feel it is necessary to review the safety plan with you again, attached with some additions, revisions. On Monday evening, we spoke of your safe arrival at 133 Greenbank on Tuesday evening, owing to the possibility of heightened community interest in the meeting, owing to the protest and the OPS motion. I reached out to you Tuesday afternoon as promised to share that the perimeter was clear and safe. When you arrived and were safely ensconced in the locked confines of B Tower, I had assumed you would remain safely in the trustees' lounge. Without prior discussion, you left Tower B and proceeded to exit the building and conduct an interview outside and walk around outside where you were subsequently approached by Rebel Media. I think it is necessary for us to review our standards of practice if you intend to leave the safe space after your arrival. We cannot ensure your safety if you do not make us aware of your intentions. Now, on page 8 of these documents, bureaucrats point out that Nili didn't even report the incident, me giving her some paper or trying to give her some paper, until after she stopped to do an interview with CTV. Doesn't seem to me like she felt all that unsafe. Nili, in an agitated and angry tone, ordered Heather and Chantel to get the CTV reporter inside so she could finish her interview with him. Chantel encouraged Nili a second time to seek me out to report the incident. Nili flatly refused until she was done with the interview. Chantel and Heather offered help and assistance to Nili, but this was met with defiance and anger. Boy, you can tell Nili Kaplan-Myrth sure loves the attention, and she sure loves to paint herself as a victim, but only after she gets the attention. Now, for those of you interested, you can still throw your name behind the thousands of parents who want this poorly behaved, COVID-deranged crybaby removed from her position on the school board. Sign the petition at firenili.com. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. You can still sign the petition calling on the Ottawa Carleton District School Board to either remove Nili Kaplan-Myrth or for her to resign because she's a censorious cry-bully who doesn't know how to behave herself. You can do that at firenili.com.